we're back. How's it going?
I'm excited to play some D&D.
Doing?
Oh, my dog is whiny and lonely because my Catherine and my son have flown away, and so it's just me and him right now. And my daughter and I are gonna fly after them later, but he's missing everybody. So you might hear him whining during this session. I'm doing fine though. Having a good day.
That's good. This is guys, my little motion detector thing. Talk amongst yourselves.
How's everybody else?
I'm doing good. Frantically putting together all the final touches on production before we go live in about 30 minutes.
I know there's so many things, like
All of the things.
Yeah, this is just, it's wonderful, but it's been a while. It's like, oh wait. I did not spring. I was like, oh, I was going to make little title cards for this, and I completely forgot about it until 4:00. So I did not try to throw that at you last minute, and I just want you to know that's because I care about you, Yang Yang.
Oh yeah. Thanks. Got it.
Also, because
I'll remember to care about you in the same way in the future.
Don't do that thing. Oh, I finished a book today. I turned in a book finally.
Hey, congratulations!
Killing me.
That is
So,
really cool.
Hooray!
That's awesome.
It is not announced yet, so I can't even say what it is. But
Hey, but you finished it.
Finished it. It is done.
Are any of you watching really cool TV shows right now?
I have not had time to watch anything, but you know what? Tonight, after this, I want to watch something. What are you watching?
Well, we've been kind of bouncing around. We like detective mystery type things, or at least we've been on that. And we went on BritBox and we've been watching Shetland, which is really fun for a couple reasons. One, the accents are outrageously wonderful. And it's almost like it must be sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce in Shetland Islands, because the photography, the shots are just gorgeous. I mean, it is ruggedly beautiful Scottish island. Anyway, but they have for a population of 3,000, they have an astounding number of murders and grisly, So
That's great.
yeah, but it's really cool. It's really great relationships, and we at one point started listening to it with subtitles because
I mean,
you could not tell what the hell
everybody listens to everything with subtitles now. There's whole
yeah.
episode about like the reasons for that.
Interesting.
And it's apparently like it's a mixture of things. Like they do like the sound mixture for like really, really good multi-channel home systems, and then they have to remix it for if your TV has like 2 channels.
Yep.
And a lot of times that's happening at the end, and they sort of like just half-ass it, or they don't have enough time, or they're not paid enough to like do it properly. So it ends up really muddy.
Yep.
And stuff like that. So I just like all captions all the time. It's great. And then also deaf and hard of hearing people, like it's there and it's good because somebody's noticing.
I have a problem with it. My eyes have to go to the text. If there's text, I stop watching faces. I stop everything. It's just the text, and that even when I don't even need it, and that really distracts me. So I just can't not look at the text. So but we do in moments when somebody says something and we really don't know what they said, we'll replay it, we'll listen to it, we'll replay it louder, listen to it again, and then
I would find that even more distracting.
turn on the text as a final thing.
So I will say, like, I've done that before, and I find that, like, sometimes, like, most of the time it's great, but sometimes it gives me, like, a value judgment on certain things, like music, that I find, like, completely wrong. Like, it'll say, like, exciting music plays.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, it's like, is it exciting? Nah. False advertisement. Who decided this is exciting?
Choo Choo of Train is my favorite little square bracket. Like
Choo Choo with Train.
choo-choo of train. And I'm like, it is indeed the choo-choo of a train.
What was the one from Stranger Things season 4? It's like Eldritch squishing or something. I was like, that's the best sentence ever.
That's awesome.
Great.
So
apparently it's kind of a thankless job, like coming up
I
with
bet.
those. I felt bad.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Because it's not just the typing them, it's the how quickly they come up and how long they stay and what chunks you break it into as far as the text and stuff like that. So
the question though of like what new stuff you're watching, there's so many things that my wife and I have on our list that are like, oh yeah, we need to watch that, oh we need to watch that, oh we need to watch that. So we started a rewatch of The Good Place this week.
Nice.
It's like
always good.
Fifth one.
Well, tell me at least you finished Ted Lasso first.
I haven't watched it. It's literally on my list.
I haven't watched the most recent season because I was so annoyed at the end of the second season because I dislike this. Look at this cute couple you're rooting for. What if we fucked with them? And I'm like, I don't even know if I want to go through it for them to figure themselves out on the other side because I was happy with it. And that annoys me.
Everyone has told me that I would love Ted Lasso, and I absolutely 100% believe them.
I think you would.
And then I started rewatching The Good Place.
I'm gonna lump my vote in with everyone. I have heard though, so I love Ted Lasso, and I've heard that season 3, I should stay away from it. I should just keep what I love about season 1 and 2, and just put a pin in it, and just like not touch season 3. Do you disagree, Rhiannon?
But why? Like, what is the thing that was in the first 2 that you're worried won't be in the 3rd?
Well, it's not me. It's like somebody.
Yeah, someone told him that.
Me.
Yeah, but what did they say? They said like, don't watch season 3 because it.
So first of all, they said that there's a lot of like unnecessary like drama filler that they added to it. Like they changed showrunners, and then the pacing of it sort of like changed a lot. And they did things with like certain characters that were very like daytime soap opera for the sake of it's like drama for the sake of drama. And it sort of like undid certain character arcs or character progression from prior seasons.
Because it was a cheap way to introduce drama without having to think too hard about the character arcs.
So the first 2 seasons are great.
Okay, well, so if you like season 2, then I don't see why you would dislike season 3, because my opinion on season 1 was that it was really tightly paced and plotted, and the character arcs were really tight as well. But they didn't like get all the way to the end because there are 2 more seasons. And it felt like season 1 sort of brought the character arcs and they were heading towards where they needed to go. And then season 2 was sort of like doing this with the character arcs a little bit, where it felt like they were marking time and they couldn't take it farther to the resolution because they had, again, a 3rd season. So it was sort of doing like this. And then I feel like the 3rd season, they were able to bring the character arcs in for a landing. And they gave character arcs to a lot of different characters. And I feel like maybe what people are reacting to is that because you are splitting your time among these different characters, you couldn't have a long, nuanced character arc over the season for like 2 characters. You had sort of shorter, like more simple character arcs for like a ton of characters over the season. And that honestly didn't bother me. Because like I could see that they were spreading time among them, not that I felt like they were shortchanging them.
But that's sort of the different than the impression that the person told me about. Basically, they said that they prolonged or they like had character arcs that they stretched out in season 3. Basically, it should have been like 2 episodes, but instead it ended up being like in 6 episodes or something. I don't know. Basically, this is what I heard. But you disagree, and you say season 3 is worth watching, right? Because I love Ted Lasso.
Yes,
okay,
do
so
it.
I'll put season 3 on my list.
I mean, even if you're like, oh, there was unnecessary drama or whatever, in my heart, I don't know, come and like bet me $5 and then collect if you disagree. But like in my heart, I believe that there's no way that there could be enough drama that you would feel like you wasted your time. Like maybe you would think, oh, season 3 wasn't as good or something like that. I didn't feel that way. Maybe you would feel that way, but I don't think you would feel like you wasted your time watching it. So.
Okay, I got another detective show that we started watching because my brother-in-law recommended it. And it has a terrible title. It's called CB Strike, and it's about this
That
guy.
was a terrible title.
Cormoran Strike. Yeah, it's awful.
Wait,
yes.
isn't that J.K. Rowling's thing?
Yes, it turns out it was
Interesting.
Oh.
She wrote a
No.
series of detective novels.
I have
and
not
then they
heard
were
good things about
Don't
those.
watch that.
Nope. There goes.
Oh, your background agrees with me.
I thought it was just like slowly like tunneling out.
Yeah. But we were we watched one season, and then how did I discover that it was written by her? I think I saw it was produced by her, or she was one of the executive producers. And then I looked it up, and sure enough, she'd written a series of detective novels. I don't know if that was the one, the big, it's under a pen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
Robert Galbraith.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
And my understanding is that she wrote those books, she published them under a pseudonym. They didn't do great, so they revealed it was a pseudonym.
Yep.
Of course.
That
I wonder
is-
if that was in the contract.
And they've kind of gotten
Gross.
more and more
Super
about her.
gross.
Yes. Yes.
Super freaking gross.
Personal
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Steven, like,
Yeah, it's not.
I couldn't
I mean,
stop my mother from reading them, but like
we
I'm gonna
stopped.
throw myself on this bomb. Do
We
not.
stopped.
I did hear
Okay,
that the Peacock series Poker Face was really good.
I want to see that. I love
Yeah,
Natasha Lyonne.
Oh yeah, same. And it's Ryan Johnson. And my father-in-law described it as it's like modern day Columbo, but with Natasha Lyonne.
But here's the thing about that.
I would disagree.
Yeah, because in Columbo, you don't know who did it. And you're going along with him, and you're seeing him do his thinking, and you're trying to guess.
I thought
The way they do
No, you do
Poker
know who
Face.
did it.
You do know in Columbo.
Oh, I don't remember
You
that.
see it happen, and then you see him figure it out.
Okay, see that bugs the crap out of me. I want to be thinking and puzzling.
I agree.
But Poker Face, the first half of the show is the person committing the crime. And then she shows
which
up.
is the Columbo thing.
Oh my God, I hate that. I just
Well, then you're not gonna like Poker Face.
I love the woman who plays the Poker Face character. She
Have
is
you
magnificent.
Have you seen Russian Doll?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
That's
it's
good.
really
Very
good.
Natasha
She's
Lyonne
in
too.
that. It's a time loop. That's very weird.
It's very, very good.
Huh.
And
I
it's
loved the
good,
hell
yeah.
out of it.
I watched the second season when I had COVID.
Yeah,
So,
no,
so the thing about Poker Face is that people say it's like Columbo, and it is only like Columbo in that you know who did it.
Mhm.
In no other way is it like Columbo.
Hmm.
And so, like, the trouble I have with it is that I don't care if I already know who did it. I want to see the sort of like cerebral puzzling it out, detecting kind of like puzzle thing.
Mhm.
And the character in Poker Face is much more sort of like emotionally thrashing through, working through her own emotional troubles and managing to get to a solution to like, and empathizing with the victim and like that kind of thing, which is its own thing, but it's not a cerebral detective.
Yeah.
And so
She has a magic power. She knows when people are lying. And so
yeah, and also like she's got so much stuff in her own life. Not that detectives don't also have baggage in any given like detective show, but her
Detectives
baggage
with emotional or psychological damage? What?
Oh, is this where I get to yell about
suspension of disbelief gone.
Death on the Nile, the new Death on the Nile?
Oh
and the
my
tragic
God.
story of Hercule Poirot's mustache, because I have never been so angry in my life.
Okay, I loved Murder on the Orient Express. Like I loved that
It was
movie.
delightful. And I was
And then
very
we watched
happy
Death
with
on the
that.
Nile, and we got like 40 minutes in, and I turned to my wife when I think I hate this movie.
Right? Like, okay, I mean, I feel like if you've read Empire of Exiles, you absolutely know that I really love Agatha Christie, because I definitely was like, do it.
Mhm.
Like for the super twisty murder mystery.
Yeah.
And like, that's the thing is like, there's not there's not a lot of emotional context in those books, right?
Yeah.
You don't really get to know sort of Hercule Poirot cares about like two things, the truth and his mustache, and that's mostly it. And they're like, but what if he had a tragic romance story?
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, no.
I hate
that's
I hate it so
his
much.
Thing.
What
That's
if
not his
Columbo had a
thing.
romance?
Like so my wife loves Agatha Christie stuff. Like she has read all of the Poirot stuff. And
is a woman of excellent taste.
Yes, she is. and I had never read Poirot, and so like the first time I actually had seen anything of it was Murder on the Orient Express.
Okay.
And I remember vividly being in the theater and him taking out the pendant and having the picture of the woman in it. And Tara,
sad girlfriend picture.
Yeah, and Tara out loud goes, no.
No. He has a weird crush. He has a weird crush on a Russian con artist lady. And canonically, that is it. Otherwise, he loves the truth in his mustache, and that's it. Because it's a mystery, right? It's not.
I was going to say, like, the sister, she and I went to see Orient Express in the theater, and we came out of it, and I was like, oh, that was interesting, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, there's a backstory. And so I definitely know she would hate Death in the Nile.
Death in the Nile adds a lot of like, it tries to make a lot more like it because the structure of a murder mystery, right? There is we have guessed wrong, and therefore we have a failure, and then that helps us guess right. But in the Poirot novels, there isn't usually, the guess wrong is sort of structured different.
Yeah.
You leave the reader to guess wrong. And then Hercule Poirot goes, actually, here's what happened. So they force a guess wrong in there, and they have this moment that they create so that he has this like horrible heartbreak in the middle. That's when I quit because it made no sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate it. It's so frustrating. And now we're going to do
Haunting in Venice.
Yeah, it's Halloween Party, which is legitimately one of the crummiest. It's you can tell she was not having an on.
Here's the thing, though. My wife showed me the trailer for it, gave me no context for what we were about to watch, and I'm watching through this trailer. And I'm just like, okay, period piece, spooky movie. All right, I'm into this. And then it shows Hercule Poirot, and I lost it. I'm like, no, I don't care. It's gonna be stupid, but I'm in. I'm here. Do whatever the heck you want. I want to see this.
Fascinating. Like I looked at it, right? Because I've read the book, so I was like, okay, how are they adapting it? And in the book, there's like this. It's a Halloween party, and this like 13-year-old girl is bragging about how she saw a real murder once, and then she turns up dead. Right. And so it's like, what was she talking about? And who killed her? And did they do that other murder? So I looked up the cast list, and I'm like, who plays the girl? It's Michelle Yeoh. So they have adapted this very differently.
Oh, yeah, they did that very differently.
That is, so I have no idea what's going on here, but they did not care to stick to the source material. So many people in the chat, and I'm so glad that you guys are here. We've just been very passionately discussing
But are you saying that the Orient Express was a good film?
I did really like it.
I was okay with it. I think
it was okay.
They added a couple little things, but you can kind of ignore them.
Yeah, ignore the sad girlfriend picture.
Yeah,
sad girlfriend picture. The like giving him this sort of like semi OCD thing. Okay, fine. But like otherwise, it mostly sticks to it.
Yeah,
and that's good. It's an interesting one because I feel like you lead with Orient Express, which is sort of known for being like one of the big oddball ones, right? Like that's not the most straightforward, but that's why people remember it, right? So you lead the first of this sort of relaunches, the one where the solution is completely bananas. Is interesting choice.
My other favorite thing between the two films is they literally end the first one with someone telling him, Mr. Poirot, there's been a death on the Nile. And then we just skip to the next movie and that didn't happen and he's there for it.
The thing is like, oh, there's been a death on the Nile, but the death of the Nile, they put him in the room with the setup.
Yeah.
And it's like, did that happen before the Orient Express? Timeline here.
That.
So I have a question for you. I'm actually really new to appreciating murder mysteries. And I've identified some things that drive me freaking crazy. One is if you know ahead of time what what happened.
Mhm.
The other is when, and this happened in the J.K. Rowling thing all the time, and it just made me roll my eyes. They take us all the way through this thing, and it's really interesting, but you're going, I don't know. And then the main character goes, I know what it is. Come with me. And then they go do their thing and they reveal it. And there's no, this whole time I've been trying to puzzle through looking for clues and stuff. That was useless time spent on my part. They were just building this rat's nest. And then the hero goes, aha. And I'm like, what aha? What?
The thing that will upset me the most is when they have a piece of information the audience doesn't, and piece of information very obviously makes it be the person who it is.
Yes.
That drives me up the walls.
This is a thing I love when I can do it, or when I read it, when you get all the clues and like you get led to the wrong choice, because you know there's going to be a wrong choice, but like if it all fits together and you're like, ooh, like how are they going to, like, what's going to tip it over into something else? And will I be able to spot it? And then when you can spot it, like just like half a page before the characters do, I find that so satisfying.
So who are the famous authors or directors who provide that?
So Stephen, though, like everybody figures it out at a different pace, like as a reader or a viewer. And so what the author or the writer can do is make sure all the information is on the page. But it is literally impossible to say that somebody will lay out the information in the correct pacing for somebody to figure it out, like for me, and also for you, and also for Aaron, and also for Trevor. So like the most you can say is that they didn't hide anything.
What I feel like is happening is they're just sort of cheating. They're lazy. They don't provide enough breadcrumbs. They get to a point where it's very interesting, but then they can't pay it off. So they just have this epiphany that is unearned, and then it goes into the denouement. And I recognize it when I didn't figure it out and I could have. I'm damn it, I should have picked up on that. But
that's also kind of exciting.
Yeah, that it is. But I'm starting to see this pattern in certain detective shows where it's completely unearned. And
I feel like that's I mean, I don't know, maybe this is an unkind assumption, but I feel like sorry, I had to answer. There was a question in here and we're on such a roll. I didn't want to leave it hanging. So
I was waiting to read it out loud, but I'm glad you got it.
So yeah, Augusta Locke asked if I had how I would name myself in Time and Theron, because they would like to make an NPC. And so yeah, I need to look up. I don't know what a good clan name would be. I think I'd be happy to have any of them for myself. So whatever sounds good. But the best I've got is that in Time and Theron Draconic, Martifer is peace, and sometimes people say Aaron comes from Irene, which means peace, because otherwise you're dealing with like, oh, it means Ireland, and there's no Ireland in the realms. That gets weird. I think those cheats. So hope that helps. I think those cheats come down to I want a smart villain and I want a smart detective, but I myself don't want to put in that level of sort of puzzle making, because maybe I don't get joy out of it. Maybe it's too hard for me. So I will just kind of go like, but what you didn't know is, and that what you didn't know was never available. And so those are not like, those are not great, right?
Who are the ones that you would recommend as really top-notch, thought through the whole thing, creates a puzzle you could, if you're really paying attention, solve?
Yeah, I mean, say them quickly because I want to break.
I don't want to be an asshole here, but I did write a fantasy murder mystery that I think is pretty great.
Really?
Oh, a fantasy murder mystery that we happen to be giving away a few copies of today, right? Ooh, good transition.
Oh yeah.
So Aaron's actually going to give away 3 physical copies of Empire of Exiles. Anybody in the world may enter. Use !ticket for your chance to win. So, you know, I almost forgot that we need to talk about that at some point during the Hangout, but somebody needs to also talk about that during the intro. And we should talk about the intro more on the break. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Don't go away. Bye.